say don't ever lose his cool, but I've been watching, and sometimes calm. It's just silence in the sky. He cool on the outside, calm in the frame. Everybody say charm, he's running the game. Never too loud, never show pain. But what if the quiet don't mean he's okay? Yeah, he's smooth, yeah, he glide, but it's deeper than the look in his eyes. Self-control and just staying composed. It's knowing yourself when nobody knows. Walk through the halls like he float, no stress. Like a door shut, no crack in the chest. They say, man, I wish I could be like him. Never overreact, never get too driven. But I see the pause on the question here. When Socrates asks what you call control, kid. Is it silence, is it moving slow? I know what you feel when the feeling show. You cool on the outside, calm in the frame. Everybody say charm, he's running the game. Never too loud, never show pain. But what if the quiet don't mean he's okay? Yeah, he's smooth, yeah, he glide, but it's deeper than the look in his eyes. Self-control ain't just staying composed. It's knowing yourself when nobody knows. I ain't here to clown you, kid, I'm here to ask. When you say you got control, what you mean by that? Is it holding your tongue, keeping feelings in chains, so knowing why your heart still tug when you smile through the pain? You say calm as a crown, say quiet as gold, but I seen loud truth save souls from the cold. If you don't know your fear, if you don't know your flame, how you master yourself when you don't know the name? I don't hand out answers, I just shine a light so you can see your thoughts when you step in a fight. Cause wisdom ain't flex, ain't pretending you froze. It's asking who you are when nobody knows. Yeah. You can hide behind a poker face, but you don't care about your pay. Heart and mind gotta get in sync, or emotion move first before you think. I ain't saying he fake, nah, that ain't fair. He just never learned how to look in there. Control ain't cold, ain't locking it tight. He's feeling the storm and still choosing right. Now he learn to calm at the end of the road. It's the start of the path where you carry the load. Know your triggers, know your voice. Real power, living a conscious choice. He cool on the outside, calm in the frame, but now he see more than just playing the game. Not just quiet, not just pose, but heart and mind finally both exposed. Yeah, he's smooth, yeah, he grown, now he walking with truth, he can call it his own. Self-control ain't losing your soul, it's knowing yourself, that's the ultimate goal. So next time you see someone quiet, don't assume they got it all solved. Sometimes the real work is the work you do inside.
Our goals are just dreams.
Come on.
And ultimately, they fuel disappointment.
Exactly.
On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start, but without consistency, you'll never finish.
I've created a modern retelling of Plato's Charmides for readers aged 13 and up, featuring African-American female characters navigating the philosophical concept of temperance in a contemporary setting. I hope you enjoy this unique interpretation of a classic dialogue.
The art of balance Nalo returned to the Lyceum Academy of Fine Arts after a long summer at the competitive city exhibition. The halls felt different, humming with the digital glow of tablets and the smell of fresh acrylics. She was looking for a new perspective, something that felt as solid as the ground after a long sea voyage. She stood at the threshold of the great hall, her duffel bag slung over one shoulder, her eyes sharp and searching behind her stylish glasses. In the center of the studio sat Zora, a junior whose reputation for perfect composure had spread faster than a viral reel. Zora didn't paint with the frantic energy of her peers. She moved with a calculated, rhythmic grace. She was currently working on a digital mural, her stylus moving like a conductor's baton. To look at her was to see the very definition of a quiet soul, a person whose inner world was perfectly aligned with her outer actions. Nalo approached Zora, curious if this girl's legendary calmness was a skill or a shield. "They say you have the most balanced hand in the academy, Zora," Nalo said, leaning against the workbench. "But what is this balance you possess, if you had to define it, not in colors, but in truth? How would you describe the virtue that keeps your hand so steady and your heart so quiet?" Before Zora could answer, her cousin Maya stepped into the light. Maya was the Academy's top strategist, a girl who viewed art as a series of calculated moves toward success. Zora's balance is her modesty, Maya declared, placing a hand on Zora's shoulder. She knows her place, she works without ego, and she never rushes the process. Balance is simply the act of being still and knowing when to wait. Nalo turned her attention to Maya, her eyes twinkling with the joy of a good debate. Is that so, Maya? You say balance is stillness. But when we look at the best athletes or the most brilliant dancers, isn't their balance found in their speed and their quickness? If a girl thinks too slowly or moves too cautiously, we don't call her balanced, we call her sluggish. So how can balance be purely stillness? Zora bit her lip, her brow furrowing as she considered Nalo's words. The perfect composure flickered for a moment. She looked at her mural, a complex web of geometry and light. She realized that her best work didn't come from being slow, but from knowing exactly how fast to move. She began to wonder if her modesty was just a beautiful word for her fear of being seen or being wrong. Maybe, Zora said softly, looking back at Nalo, balance isn't about how fast or slow I move. Maybe it's about doing my own business. Perhaps balance is the wisdom to know what is mine to create and what is not, and focusing only on what is truly within my power. Nalo nodded, acknowledging the growth, but she wasn't finished. The inquiry had to go deeper into the heart of the soul. Maya shook her head, frustrated by the turn the conversation was taking. That's just more words, Zora. If you want a real definition, listen to me. Balance is the science of sciences. It is the ability to know what you know, and, more importantly, to know what you do not know. It is the ultimate self-awareness. Maya's voice was firm, her eyes flashing with the desire to settle the matter once and for all. Nalo sighed, a small, knowing smile on her face. But Maya, if you only know what you don't know, do you actually know anything at all? If a doctor only knows health but doesn't know medicine, can she heal? If we only know the concept of balance but don't know how it applies to our painting, our friendships, or our lives, what good is that knowledge to us? We are searching for a balance that makes us better, not just smarter. The sun began to set over the Lyceum, casting long, purple shadows across the studio. They hadn't found a perfect sentence to define balance, but Zora felt lighter. I don't think I can define it yet, Zora admitted to Nalo. But I think I want to keep looking. Will you help me? Will you charm me with your questions until I can see clearly? Nalo laughed, a warm and melodic sound. I think, Nalo said, that the search is the balance itself.
To achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency, because without commitment, you'll never start, but without consistency, you'll never finish.
Cool, but I've been watching. And sometimes calm is just silence in disguise. He cool on the outside, calm in the frame. Everybody say Charmides running the game. Never too loud, never show pain. But what if the quiet don't mean he's okay? Yeah, he's smooth, yeah, he glide. But it's deeper than the look in his eyes. Self-control and just staying composed. It's knowing yourself when nobody knows. Walk through the halls like you flow, no stress. Like a door shut, no crack in the chest. They say, man, I wish I could be like him. Never overreact, never get too driven. But I see the pause when the question hit. When Socrates asked what you call control, kid. Is it silence, is it moving slow? Or knowing what you feel when the feelings show. He cool on the outside, calm in the frame. Everybody say Charmides run the game. Never too loud, never show pain. But what if the quiet don't mean he's okay? Yeah, he's smooth, yeah, he glide. But it's deeper than the look in his eyes. Self-control and just staying composed. Just knowing yourself when nobody knows. I ain't here to clown you, kid, I'm here to ask. When you say you got control, what you mean by that? Is it holding your tongue, keep your feelings in chains? I know why your heart so tug when you smile through the pain. You say calm as a crown, say quiet as gold. But I seen loud truth save souls from the cold. If you don't know your fear, if you don't know your flame, how you master yourself when you don't know the name? I don't hand out answers, I just shine a light, so you can see your thoughts when they step in a fight. Cause wisdom ain't flexing, pretending you froze. It's asking who you are when nobody knows. Yeah. You can hide behind a poker face, but truth don't care about your pace. Heart and mind gotta get in sync or emotion move first. before you think. Hey, hey. I ain't saying he fake, nah, that ain't fair. He just never learned how to look in there. Control ain't cold, ain't locking it tight. It's feeling the storm and still she's right. Now we learning calm at the end of the road. It's the start of the path where you carry the load. Know your triggers, know your voice. Real power live in a conscious choice. He cool on the outside, come in the frame, but now he see more than just playing the game. Not just quiet, not just pose, but heart and mind finally both exposed. Yeah, he's smooth, yeah, he grown. Now he walking with truth, he could call his own. Self-control ain't losing your soul, it's knowing yourself, that's the ultimate goal, yeah.
So next time you see someone quiet, don't assume they got it all solved. Sometimes the real work is the work you do inside.